So many great things happen in this chapter, start to finish, front to back. It was an absolute gem and a delight to read. Oh boy. One Piece, chapter 373, Necessary Evil.
Oh boy, Franky going in deep. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome and tantalizing and six-power CP9 filled tale of One Piece. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with Wands being defeated by Sanji, and it just kind of leaving us hanging on the rooftop as far as the Nero and Franky battle went. Franky had turned into his centaur Franky with the four legs, and actually looked kind of goofy because it was backwards to a normal centaur. But anyway, that's how the chapter left off, and that's right where the chapter picks up on top of the roof. And Franky, it looks like he has he's been beaten. It looks like Nero has gotten the upper hand on him, and it looks like Franky's got nothing left. Nero kind of makes fun of him, and he's like, I couldn't actually tell what got stronger when you went from 2 legs to 4-legged centaur guy, but, and he winds up going and nailing him, and Franky kind of goes, and he's like hanging off the edge by one hand, he's like, I'm gonna fall, you know? And this Nero guy's just like, oh yeah, it's too bad, isn't it? You know, and he comes over there, and leans over the edge, and Franky winds up going, and he says something to the effect of, you know, like any last words or anything you want to say or whatever, right? And Franky just goes, and it's awesome, man. He goes and kind of turns and reaches up with his legs, his 4 legs, and grabs this dude. He kind of lured him in, I think. That's how I looked at it. It's like he lured him in because this guy was always moving so quickly when they had distance, you know, between them. But when this guy got right up on him, Franky was able to go and latch onto him with his 4 legs, and he's like, here. And then he pins him down, right? And he's like on top of him, and he's, you know, obviously got 4 legs to hold him down, you know, and the guy can't move his arms or legs, and Nero's, you know, he's starting to freak now, right? And Franky's just like, oh yeah, now, yeah, you think there's still some more fight over here? He's like, you were moving around too much for me to hit you before, so I want to actually show you my power, right? And all of a sudden, Franky comes down with this, right? Oh my god. Oh boy, ultimate hammer! And he just puts this fucking dude, number one dude, just, right? He puts this dude through the roof, down into the actual train car, and actually lands very close to where Sanji is, and I just love it, man. Sanji's just like, oh, that's you. Oh, good, you took care of your guy, and then Franky's like, yeah. And he goes, and boots his ass to the front car or whatever. He's like, how about you? Did you take care of the cook? And Sanji's like, yeah, just now. So then they go up in, then it takes us up into that car, the second car with the CP9 members, and you've got wands laid out in the middle of the aisle over there. And now, you know, Lucci and Kaku, they've actually gotten up, right? Yeah, Lucci actually gracious was standing up with his pimp coat on. And so they go in, and Nero is just about knocked out, you know. He's just sitting there just kind of pretty much like on his knees, you know. And he goes and he's just like, I'm going to take care of this guy. I'm going to kill him, you know. And Lucci goes, man, Lucci does his ass dirty. Lucci, man, you know, I don't know whether to love or hate this guy. I love him as a villain because just with his little goatee and his look on his face, you just want to fucking grab him and just punch his fucking head in, you know. And at least that's what I want to do, is just smash his freaking head in. But that's good, though. That's a sign of a good villain, man, if you just hate him that much, you know. So I actually want to take his pigeon, and I just want to slap the shit out of him with his pigeon. That's what I want to do. So, and stuff it in his mouth and fucking kick him. Yeah, Tempest kick. Shave this, bitch. Anyways, so, sorry, I get a little excited sometimes. I really get into the story, you know what I mean? And I never said that I was sane anyway, so there's no claim anywhere on any of my videos that I am. So, can't hold that against me. But anyway, So what happens next is Nero, you know, he's like, let me just take care of this. Let me kill this guy. And he's like, Franky's not to be killed. He's supposed to be captured. And pretty much, dude, you're just, you know, he's pretty much like, hey, listen, you're too weak to be with us, you know, because they don't even know who he is at first. And then somebody says, oh yeah, I think that's that guy Corgi said was joining us. That was a, you know, that was going to be like a junior CP9 officer, but he only knows 4 of the 6 powers, you know. So apparently he's not as cool because he can't do all the things, right? So Lucci goes, like, I'm going to give you to the count of 3 to run or to leave or whatever. And he's like, run from who? And he's like, 3, 2, 1. And as he does it, you're going to see the finger pop up. And it's like, oh, finger pistol, right? So he goes and he does the shave move and then just, you know, and just completely does his ass dirty. Oh, my God. Takes him out. It was, you know, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, this poor bastard, you know, you can't even be. There we go. There it is right there. He winds up just taking him out. And then he goes and he's like, yeah. Khalifa, when we get back to, you got to write up the report later. He don't even do his own reports. Khalifa's sexy and she's the secretary, so we'll just stick to that, right? And he's just like, yeah, Khalifa, when we get back, just, fill out the report and whatnot. Tell him the new guy wasn't strong enough, And I love how he goes, and as Lucci goes and jacks him up, he says something to the effect of, what does he say? He's like, if you have the, here we go. You're only superhuman if you have the entire 6 powers repertoire down, boy. And I love how he calls him that boy, so anyway, we wind up getting, of course, and then I like the look too, man. Lucci with that big pimp coat on, So anyway, so Lucci stands up. He's in the aisle over there, and then of course he goes to greet, Franky and Sanji as they come in, and he's just like, okay, yeah, you're persistent. You must be here for Nico Robin, and then he goes into this whole speech about how, basically she's never had any friends in her life because at a very young age she was pretty much, just kind of, she's been on the runs at a very young age. She didn't start out as a criminal. She just did criminal activities after. But, he explains about, like, if there was a weapon that could be unlocked through this, like, this demonic power or whatever that this child possessed, wouldn't you kill the child to save the world type of thing, And Sanji's like, what the hell are you talking about, right? And Lucci's trying to go, and so he's like, and that's Robin's burden, is what he winds up saying. Don't you think that girl should be killed for the sake of humanity, And he says, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, I'm explaining Nico Robin's life to you. Now, of course, she's an actual criminal, but in the beginning, she was just a little girl with a terrible power. And I love this, for as long as she can remember, her very existence has been a crime. The only way she can make people happy is by disappearing. That is her burden to bear. And you get Sanji and Franky both have a look of like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, boy. So practically speaking, she should have perished 20 years ago. I'm truly glad that she'll die before it's too late. And then you get Sanji just, cut it out, you jerk! And he comes at him, with a kick or whatever, which I'm sure, Lucci just avoids or dodges or does his iron body and he can't be hurt. It doesn't say it on here, but I'm sure that's what happens because it isn't like he moves. And then he goes and he says that basically what they're going to wind up doing is they're going to spend many years wringing out all of Nico Robin's knowledge, experience, and intelligence. So pretty much just torture. The agony she'll endure from now until her final end, And Sanji's pissed. He's like, man, I ain't going to let that happen, And then all of a sudden, man, and I like this, I was fucking jumping up and down cheering. And when I see it in the anime, I'm going to be jumping up and down cheering too. And I bet you my whole family's going to be cheering next to me. Robin all of a sudden busts open the door from the other end, from the front car that she's in, right? So she comes in, and of course, Sanji's Robin, and she's all excited and everything else. Robin doesn't really say shit except for, hey, listen, you won't understand unless I actually spell it out for you, will you? And she goes and she tosses frickin', she takes and tosses Usopp into the middle of the, down the middle of the aisle over there. And so, and then you got, obviously, you got Lucci over there, ha ha ha, because he knows that Robin's going to stay with him or whatever, So then I love the next series of events that happen. We get Usopp's like, or Sniper King, Usopp the Sniper King is like, Franky, cut the third car loose. And Franky's like, why? And he's like, because we got to get out of here. We're retreating, right? And I'm thinking, oh shit, they're going to leave again and everything like that. So as he goes and does that, nobody knows what's going on but Usopp the Sniper King. And boy, this is his chapter to shine. This is his part of the story to shine, I think. And I really hope that this series of events winds up helping him get some confidence back amongst himself to hopefully rejoin the crew sooner rather than later, if at all, right? But anyway, that's a story for another time. So he goes and he's just like, he goes and he does one of his smoke stars, right? And Kaku and all them are like, what the hell, what's this all about, So he throws a smoke star for a smoke screen. He's got Franky disconnected in the third car. He just runs over through the smoke and grabs Nico Robin's ass, right? He's got her under his arm, and he's just like, ha ha, Nico Robin is ours, ha ha, and I just picture him like running like, Nico Robin is ours, with Usopp and his voice and everything in the anime. And I love that, and you got Franky and Sanji like, all right, good job, Usopp, So that's how the chapter winds up ending off over here for us. And man, it just what an entertaining, exciting, exasperating. I get fucking goosebumps reading this stuff. It's just so intense and so fun. And man, God, I cannot wait. And then my family and I, we're getting through the Foxy arc basically right now, which I know is longer in the anime and everything else. And once we run out of our collections, collection 9 in the anime, I've actually started DVR recording them because there's a couple new episodes each week, and they've started into Water 7, and it's on Cartoon Network on Toonami, so we'll be able to watch those as we catch up, and we're not gonna have to wait for English dubbed versions to come out in collections and things like that. So what an awesome chapter though, man. man. Just had me cheering, dude. I swear to God, I was waving the banner right there. And I thought Nico Robin was going to throw down and be like, enough of this shit. And I was hoping that everybody was just going to try to attack these CP9 characters. But we know that they're still powered, and when I say overpowered, I don't mean they're overpowered like it's ridiculous, like this guy can just, you know, flick his fingers, snap his fingers, and there's a nuke that goes off. I mean that their power level is above where the characters that we're seeing right now are at, and it's such a gap that it's not even like a fight, you know what I mean? Or at least it wasn't the last time we saw it with Luffy and Zoro and stuff. So that's what I mean when I say overpowered. I don't mean like in the sense of like it's ridiculous or anything like that. I just mean that they're overpowered. Their power is stronger. It's over what the Straw Hats are right now. Nonetheless, so awesome chapter. My chapter question for you though, brothers and sisters, is really when Nico Robin busted in, right? You know, did you see that coming, or did you think that Nico Robin was going to actually do something? And what was I guess your thoughts on that? As far as I didn't see it coming with Usopp and the smoke star and disconnected. Usopp's usually never the take charge type of guy like that, and I thought that was great how he just came together with a plan that nobody but him knew about, and he just got Robin like, I got her, she's ours, you know. But let me know what your thoughts are on the plan that obviously Usopp enacted, and then of course too, you know, if you thought when Nico Robin burst in there that she was going to throw down or what she was going to do. Leave your answer to that convoluted question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I sound like that guy. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, nation.
Remember to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and also my other channels.